What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rowdy Player One channel. I am Rowdy, and we have our most anticipated books of 2025. There is 10 books here. There's more than that I want to put on here, but I'm going to limit this to my 10 most anticipated. I am extremely excited for some of these, and others I've not read. Like there's like a book 2 or book 3 or something in here, but I plan on reading probably this year. So just from all the hype that I've heard about these as well, they are going to be great. So let's get started. Coming out January 14th is Lightfall by Ed Crocker. This is part of the Everlands trilogy, and it is, obviously it says that an epic fantasy of vampires, werewolves, and sorcerers. Lightfall is the debut novel of Ed Crocker for the fans of Jay Kristoff's Empire of the Vampire and Richard Swann's Justice Kings. No humans here, just immortals, their politics, their feuds, and their long-buried secrets. For centuries, vampires freely roamed the land until the Greys came out of nowhere, wiping out half the population in a night. The survivors fled to the last vampire city of First Light, where the rules are simple. If you're poor, you drink weak blood. If you're noble, you get the good stuff. Now, you can never, ever leave. So, that's just a little quick snippet of that. It sounds so good. I want to read this book so bad. I've never read any vampire books or werewolves, and this thing's got me hyped to the moon. So I think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to read it. Next up, coming out on on March 4th, is The Radiant King by David Dalglish. I'll eventually get his name right. The cover of this book looks incredible. So this is the first installment of a trilogy about immortal demigods, civil wars. The ancient evil will be irresistible to classic fantasy fans and will appeal to readers of James Islington and Anthony Ryan. 6 immortal siblings, 5 sworn to peace, 1 demands a throne. Radiance, the mysterious power of life and creation, is theirs to command. Death cannot claim them. For hundreds of years, the ever-living ruled with ease. Yet when the world is nearly broken beneath their reign, the humbled 6 swear that they will sit upon no thrones, wear no crowns, and no longer teach humanity the gifts of radiance. But after centuries of peace, Eder rejects their vow, anoints himself voice of father, and spreads a new cruel faith across the land. Oh man, this sounds so good. I'm excited about this for sure. I think it's going to be really good. I've not read anything by David Dalglish, but I think this will be the first thing I read of his, and it sounds amazing. So I'm really excited about that. Next, we have coming out on March 31st is Of Empires and Dust by Ryan Cahill. This is book 4. Technically, I guess it would be book 6, 7 or 8. If you count the novellas, he puts out a novella and then puts out a book. It's kind of how Ryan works, and or puts out a book, then a novella, however you want to say it. And this is technically book 4, and this sucker is going to be massive. Like book 3 of War and Ruin is over 1,000 pages. So, and I think he's already talked about this has got like 460,000 words. So I'm assuming it's going to be more than 1,000 pages. I actually am starting the fall, January, the very beginning of January. That will be my first read, and I'm going to read one book of this, the Bound and the Broken series, until I complete it once a month. And I'm very excited about doing that. I think it's going to be good, and I think Of Empires and Dust is going to be amazing. So I am hyped about that one. Then around May 1st is when I think it's supposed to be out, but it is The Isles of the Emberdark by Brandon Sanderson. This one says the ones above are starting to grow impatient and want to build an installation to breed and collect a VR on one of First of the Sun's islands. Vathi and Dusk are trying to figure out how to delay their progress and are also dealing with people from another world like Roshar. Dust realizes that the people of First of the Sun are hopelessly outmatched and decides to go through Pagia's Eye, the perpendicularity on the island Pagia, to try to enlist help. Now, this is part of the Cosmere. I finished the Cosmere this year, and so this will be the next one in the Cosmere, of course, and I'm pretty excited about it. I just got done with the Wind and Truth, and so I'm excited to start something new in it and kind of see. This might be a standalone, not really sure, but I've already got it pre-order. I did the Kickstarter of it, so as soon as it comes out, it'll be at my door, and I'm very excited to give it a shot. Then, probably most people's most hyped book of the year for sure that's coming out, we've got The Devils by Joe Abercrombie, which comes out May 13th. It says, holy work sometimes requires unholy deeds. Brother Diaz has been summoned to the sacred city where he is certain for commendations and grand holy assignment awaits him. But his new flock is made up of unrepentant murderers, titioners of ghostly magic, and outright monsters, and the mission he is taken with will require bloody measures from them all in order to achieve its righteous end. Elves lurk at our borders and hunger for our flesh, while greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With a hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. I am very excited about this, of course. Who wouldn't be? I mean, if you're anybody that loves the First Law, I've read book 1. Book 2 and book 3 will be done this year and possibly continue on. But I'm excited to start The Devils because it's a new series, so I'm not 9 or technically 8 books behind now. I can start fresh with this one. So I think it's going to be amazing. And obviously, everybody that's come out with stuff about it here lately, like their reviews, like I know Mike's book reviews, and I think Patrick maybe, and who else? There's one or two others that I've seen their reviews, and they gush about how good this book is. So very excited about this one. Then we have A Chorus of War by Scott Palmer, which comes out June 17th. Now, I have not read any of his the first verse of the Last Ballad series, but I am going to start this year. Like I'm looking at it. I've got it. Memory of Song is book 1, so I'll read you a little bit about it. It says, in a dying land, the armies of the dead hold sway, and those who rule them are more God than human. James Coldane, the last heir of the northern throne, was just a young man when the armies of the south murdered his parents and subjugated his lands. He has never forgotten those responsible, nor has he forgiven. He has spent the last 10 years living in isolation with the Feldir, a sacred northern clan of fierce warriors led by the fearless Wolfie, who, still reeling from the loss of her own children, finds new meaning in protecting what only family she has left. Now, an ancient order of warlocks has returned to the north, singing dark songs composed of blood magic that gnaw the elements and threaten all of their lives. So, sounds pretty good. Pretty good. I am excited about this, of course. I'm wanting to read The Memory of Song, or A Memory of Song. And then, of course, I've got the novella for sure already. And I may have a memory song on my Kindle. I don't remember. I'll have to look. But I definitely have the novella that starts before both of these. So, like I said, June 17th, A Chorus of War, which is book 2, comes out. And it's going to be awesome. I'm pretty positive about it. After that, we have one of the most excited books I'm super hyped to get to. It's The Last Contract of Ahsoka by Fonda Lee, which comes out on October 9th, which happens to be 2 days before my birthday. So this is inspired by samurai movies, and it's a space opera, it's cyberpunk. Man, I've not got to start the Greenbone Saga yet, but it's coming this year, of course. I've got book 1, and it's starting early this year, hopefully February or March, one or the other. It's going down. I'm ready, but this right here sounds awesome, so I should be able to finish that trilogy and then get to start this from Fonda Lee. Very excited about it. But basically, there's not much it says about it. It just says inspired by samurai movies and Fonda's former business career. The Last Contract of Ahsoka is a searing space opera like no other that takes aim squarely at late-stage capitalism. Get ready to meet an aging contractor, Ithamus Ahsoka, whose final mission thrust her deep into a world of espionage and sword fights on an isolated colony planet. I mean, come on. Samurai, sword fights, isolated, espionage, cyberpunk. What are we doing? This is going to be incredible. Oh, I can't wait for it. Man, some of these books this year, 2025 is going to be amazing. All right. We calm down a little. After that, we have got The Black Fire Blade by James Logan, which comes out October 23rd. I've not read the Silverblood Promise, which is the last Legacy series. Silverblood Promise book 1. The Black Fire Blade is book 2. But I plan on reading the Silverblood Promise this year. So I will read you a little bit about it. Most people, if you've read it, which got really good reviews this year. I mean, it's got a bunch of ratings on Goodreads. But let's see. Lucane Gardova is a card sharp academy dropout, and thanks to a duel that ended badly, the disgraced heir to an ancient noble house. His days consist of cheap wine, rigged card games, and a wondering how he might win back the life he threw away. When Lucane discovers that his estranged father has been murdered in strange circumstances, he finds fresh purpose. Deprived of his chance to make amends of his mistakes, he vows to unravel the mystery behind his father's death. In search for answers leads him to Sephrona, fabled city of merchant princes where anything can be bought if one has the coin. Lucane only seeks the truth, but instead he finds danger and secrets in every shadow. For in Sephrona, everything has a price, and the price of truth is the deadliest of all. Oh, I've heard really good things about the Silverblood Promise, so I'm sure it's good. And then the Black Fire Blade is going to be just as good, if not better, I'm pretty sure. So then we have got 2 left. The Empire of the Vampire series, J. Kristoff comes out, I think November 3rd. I know it says, or I'm sorry, no, in November. It's the third book in the Empire of the Vampire series. And I think it's the final in the trilogy. I think it's going to be a trilogy. So this should be the final book. And I definitely plan on reading Empire of the Vampire and Empire of the Damned this year. And I've heard really good things about it, of course. And then, of course, hopefully getting to continue on to book 3 if I'm able to get those knocked out in time. So I'll read you a little of Empire of the Vampire. It says, "From holy cup comes holy light. The faithful hand sets world aright. And in the 7 martyrs' sight, mere man shall end this endless night. It has been 27 long years since the last sunrise. For nearly 3 decades, vampires have waged war against humanity, building their eternal empire even as they tear down our own. Now only a few tiny sparks of light endure in a sea of darkness. Gabriel de Leon." Before I continue, you ever notice that there's certain names that just go with stuff? Like Gabriel is a perfect vampire name. Sebastian, that's like a perfect vampire name. Anyways, Gabriel de Leon is a silver saint, a member of a holy brotherhood dedicated to defending realm and church from the creatures of the night. But even the Silver Order could not stem the tide once daylight failed us, and now only Gabriel remains. Imprisoned by the very monsters he vowed to destroy, the last Silver Saint is forced to tell his story. A story of legendary battles and forbidden love, of faith lost and friendships won, of the wars of the blood and the forever king, and the quest for humanity's last remaining hope, the Holy Grail. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. So, like I said, book 3, November. J. Kristoff just put that out like last week or something. So, excited about that one. And then finally, I do not have the release date of this, but by everything and I've watched like on his own YouTube channel, but sometime at the end of the year, the Sun Eater Saga Shadows Upon Time, book 7, it's the final book of the series where Rockio is finishing it up and it's going to be done. So the Sun Eater comes to the conclusion, book 7, end of 2025. So I will read you a tad of Empire of Silence if you haven't read it, but Goodreads, there's like 23,000 ratings. Oh, holy cow. So Adrian Marlowe, a man revered as a hero and despised as a murderer, chronicles his tale in the galaxy-spanning debut of the Sun Eater series, merging the best of space opera and epic fantasy. So that's all I'm going to read of it. It's book 7 coming out. More than likely, if you're interested in it, you're going to start with book 1 if you haven't already. I'm starting this year and plan on reading at least the first 3 books this year and then go from there. I've got the broken binding editions, and so I think I'm debating on waiting, depending on how amazing they are. And I heard book 1 is the weakest, so finish it and then move on to book 2 and 3, and I'll either keep going or I'll wait till the next 2 come out in 2025 for the broken binding and get those and then do it. So we will see. But that is my top 10 most anticipated books of the year 2025. What are yours? Let me know. Do you have any on this list? I'm sure there's several on this list a lot of people want to read. But do you have something else that's not on here? If you would, leave a comment down below and leave a like on the video. It helps tremendously. And subscribe to the channel because we are putting content out. It feels like quite a bit. So come join it and let's keep growing. That's all I got. Y'all have a good day.